Do you like to talk about laughter or humor for that matter? Then stay tuned in this lesson because we are going to have a lot of fun talking about humor and also learning how to talk about humor. So let's go. Words on the board. So these ones here are some ways to talk about humor. Yes, what is humor? Have you heard that word before? Humor means the ability to make someone laugh. Can you make someone laugh? Do your friends laugh at you when you crack jokes? Then you're surely humorous and you have the ability to make someone laugh. Humor. Ability to make someone laugh. Comedy. So comedy is a funny incident or a funny conversation that you've heard. Have you ever seen a situation where a person is narrating a speech or they're giving a speech and they suddenly forget some lines? Isn't that a bit of a comedy? That is what comedy is. A funny situation that makes you laugh. Obviously, a funny situation will make you laugh. It won't make you cry after all. Let's look at the next one. Comedian. So comedian is a person who does comedy, who makes others laugh. There's another word same as comedian, and that is humorous. A person who is a humorist, who's humorous, or who is a humorist. So humorist is a synonym for comedian, and humor here is a synonym for comedy. Did you notice my pronunciation for the word comedy and comedian? Isn't that a bit peculiar? So the word comedy has two syllables, and the stress is on the first syllable, comedy. This is the stressed syllable. But in this word, we have three syllables and the stress changes. Here it is comedian. So the stress is on the second word. There is so much comedy in English, isn't it? It's the same word and just the difference is of syllables, but still the stress changes. I can't help it. Sorry, you gotta learn it. So humorist is a synonym for comedian, a person who makes others laugh. A person who makes others laugh. Okay, this also makes me tell you about another word called a stand-up comedian. So people who do comedy on stage, they are called stand-up comedians. You must have seen some stage shows. So those people are called stand-up comedians. Stand-up comedian. All right, with that we move on to the next one. Dry humor. Okay, so this is not dry literally, but what this means is that this kind of humor is a bit clever. You need to be a bit smart to understand this humor. Okay, let's try whether you're smart or not. So I'm going to share a joke with you. If you laugh, then you're smart and you have a good sense of dry humor. And if you don't, then I wouldn't like to say anything about that. So dry humor, okay, all right. So this is a very popular joke. This is Lady Nancy, between Lady Nancy and Winston Churchill. It's like two people from the history. So Lady Nancy told Winston Churchill, "Churchill, if you were my husband, I'd add poison to your tea." And Winston replied, "Nancy, if I was your husband, I'd drink it." Tell me that you laughed. Okay, if you didn't, then I'm so sorry. So this is kind of clever humor. And this is also known as wit. W-I-T, wit, or maybe even sarcasm. So these are some words that you can use in place of dry humor. Let's look at the next word. Facetious. Yes, that's how it's pronounced. Comedy in English, exactly. Facetious. So facetious is actually untimely humor. Let me give you an example. So let's say your grandfather, he's always been telling you that your generation is relying too much on technology and he's not well, he's actually in the hospital, and you suddenly think of that statement and you realize that your grandpa is on ventilator, on life support, and he's using the very technology that he criticizes you for using. So you are talking to your friend and you actually tell him, my grandpa always tells me that we are using too much technology. Our generation is relying way too much on technology. And then you say, I think what will happen if I take away the ventilator or remove the ventilator? The same technology that was helping you is probably going to do something bad with him. At this situation, you're being facetious and your humor is not at the right time and not about the right situation. So, untimely humor. About a serious situation. So be careful about being facetious, it's not really appreciated. Okay, let's look at the last one here. To talk about humor, it's gag. Have you heard of a show on Pogo, Laughing About Gags, or It's All About Gags? Have you heard of it? Okay, I'll tell you what it means. The word gags means a small presentation of comedy by a stand-up comedian, a small presentation. So let's say in a situation where the stand-up comedian, you're watching a show and the stand-up comedian has just come on stage and he does some opening gags about the previous band that was just performing. So he's done some small incidents or small expression of comedy. A small expression of comedy. Okay. So we have learned how to talk about humor, but do you want to know how to talk about laughter? Oh yes, we all have different ways of laughing at different situations. Of course, if there's something very funny, you don't smirk. Yes, you don't smirk about something really funny. When do you smirk? So you smirk when you defeat your opponent. Yes, that's like a self-satisfying smile. What happens here is, I'll show you the expression. One corner of your face or of your lips goes upwards, fleeting upwards. It's more like, okay, I did something smart. So, a self-satisfying mean laughter. All right. Self-satisfying and mean, clever laughter like this. Okay. The next one, grin. Oh, I do that really often. Something like, where you're having a broad smile on your face and it shows that you're very happy, just like me. So I'll do the expression for you again. This is when you're grinning. So you always grin about something very funny. Are you also grinning? Did I say something very funny? I know, laughter is contagious. So a broad smile. So mostly when you're grinning, you have your teeth, both of your jaw touching each other, upper jaw and lower jaw. That's when you grin. And snicker is also a synonym for grin. It also talks about a broad smile on your face. It means same as grinning. Okay, this is the most interesting one for me. Guffaw. Guffaw is when you saw probably a really funny movie and a really funny scene in the movie, and you just can't stop laughing. I mean, your hands are waving, your torso is shaking, you are clapping your hands, and almost the tears out of your eyes is just flowing out. That's when you're guffawing. Laughing just too much. Have you seen that all of these are in the increasing order? So, smirk is a short smile, grin is a broad smile, snicker is a broader smile, and guffaw is when you're actually laughing. Let's look at die laughing. I'll come to roar, don't worry. Die laughing is when, the next step after guffaw. This is like a moment of breathlessness because it says die laughing. So you just can't control your laughter and you feel like you're almost gonna die. You feel choked. You can't just stop laughing. So that moment is called die laughing. That's extremities of laughter. Breathlessness due to laughter. Oh, I love such moments. Okay, finally we have the last one, roar. Roar is obviously not talking about a lion here. Roar is when you don't have an individual laugh. So here we're talking about all individual laughter, but here we are talking about an audience that is laughing. So like an audience watching a comedy show or something like that. That's an audience laughing. Roaring. More like the audience roared at the joke. Like that? Okay. So you've had a look at different ways of talking about humor and different ways of talking about laughter. Don't control your laughter and don't control your smile. Go smile, be bright, have fun, and come back for another lesson with me. Take care. Bye.